I'm gonna fucking.
This is a test of the Bounty Park alert system.
Hello and welcome to the Latics Football Phone-In with me and Dave.
Hello.
You're right. Hey, if like us, you're watching the semi-final, missed just the header wide there from France.
We're live streaming commentary for the Morocco-France semi-final.
It looks like the numbers of people that are watching are quite low because people are watching it. And to be honest, we completely forgot about that it was on. So, you know, there we go.
You better switch that off. No, there's 23 you're watching. So how about some calling in? Because we've got nobody lined up to give us a call. And we've got quite a bit to discuss. How's your week been, Matt?
All right, yeah, fine. Wednesday in it, so there's been 2 days before this one. Been working,
finally,
that kind of stuff. You know, Latics won on Saturday,
Sunday.
So
England lost on Saturday.
Latics
won on Sunday.
Yeah,
made love on Monday.
Took her for a drink on Tuesday.
So you made love first before the drink? Wow.
Yeah, that's my style.
God, you lucky guy. 33 now watching. 32 must have said something to upset that one.
Let's check out the comments.
2 comments. Numbers are low because Oh yeah. Well, forget about the World Cup. Yeah.
Well, we already have done. We've forgotten about it, which is why we're doing this. When nobody else is watching it.
Yeah.
Numbers are low because Dave hasn't tried provoking people on Twitter this week. That is very rich coming from you, Patrick.
Yeah, contrary
rich.
Contrary
rich.
Christmas fairy.
But also probably true to some degree.
Well, yeah, we won, didn't we? So there's no point provoking anyone, really.
Yeah.
Apart from Harry Vaughan leaving for Radcliffe.
Do you have a link to the chat?
You can put it in there, Matt.
Put it in here.
Just 1 second. It's coming in.
Here we go.
Just for you, Graham Gallagher. So get yourself in here, mate.
So we
did play well against Torquay. I'll give you that. 2-1.
Yeah.
3-2 even. I thought we played well. I thought Kitchen, Tollett linked up well. I thought the defence was okay. Silly penalty to give away. We're fortunate with the own goal.
I thought we won the game,
but why did we win? Because we went to a
4-4-2.
Yeah,
but it's not about 4-4-2, is it?
No,
because that's what it does. Can I just say something?
What? Yeah, so call in the Latics Football Phone-In. Me and Matt are willing to take your calls for the next half hour. I think it will be half an hour tonight.
I think it will be. We were just on Stockport County, weren't we? Scarf Bagara War.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah, not an award-winning pod, I must say, but a decent one.
But we did rub it in, didn't we?
Just a bit. What we rubbed the award clean. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we get first caller at night on. So talk Tibby. Maybe he was in first.
Okay.
All right, Ibby.
How you doing, mate? You okay?
Evening, guys. You okay?
Yeah, you, mate. How you doing? Have you been keeping?
I've been under the weather, got infection, so it's not been a very good time for me.
I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon.
That's the time of year, isn't it? It's the time of year. Everyone's sick at this time of year, unfortunately. I hope you're feeling better soon.
I've got asthma, so I need to be very careful.
All right, yeah.
Did you go to the game on Sunday?
Oh, yeah. I'm still buzzing about Sunday, really, because it was full of goals and full of activities.
It was good it was good for the TV, wasn't it? For the people, for the neutral. A 5-goal thriller. Who was your standout players for that game, mate?
Timmy and Ben.
Ben Tollett. What did you think of Kitchen and Ben Tollett link up play? Because I thought they did really well together. Bombing down that left hand side.
it's still early days, but Kitchen's will become a very good player indeed because he's showing some good form at the moment. David Onzo is absolutely buzzing to have him at the football club at the moment because I spoke with him early on about a few bits and bobs about things, and he's just happy to have a quality player like Kitchen at the club.
The thing I said to Dave on Saturday, because I don't know if you know this, but I'm a football genius and I see things that other people don't see.
Yeah.
And Kitching for that goal, Tollett's goal, got the ball. I was only messing, but the way that he travelled with the ball from deep in his own half and just penetrate that penetrative run right upfield, got the ball right into to where it needed to be, give it to Tollett, smashed it in. I mean, if you were Torquay's manager, you'd be going spur that he got all that way with the ball.
A lot of time and space, didn't he? Yeah.
But what a great goal! Really decisive. Like that's what I love to see, players on the front foot like that, just running, seeing the gap and just going for it. And it was a brilliant goal.
I thought that the third goal with the link-up play between Fondop and Abraham was a sight to behold, if I'm honest with you. That touch from Fondop, honestly, it was quality.
It was quality.
And what did you think?
I like you said that we need to make this count next week, hopefully against Gateshead. And I'm still buzzing about David Onzo at full time. Them Ian Dowie face at full time.
I bet it was a relief for him, weren't it? Because he's been desperate for that win. I think every player. I think Kitchen and Tollett were on the knees, weren't they? Celebrating as if they won the FA Cup.
There was a lot of passion on the pitch, wasn't there, Ibby? And I like to see it. I like seeing Abraham's, like when we got a corner at one point, giving it, really geeing us up in the Rochdale Road end, and it was really good.
Definitely, and
Joe Roman,
which people are not aware of lately. David Onzo has had a bit of family illness, so it's had a huge impact, these results for the past few weeks.
Right.
I just hope things go very well because it's coming close to Christmas, and what he's told me is not very looking good for him and his family. Well, I'm just hoping. Pardon?
People forget that but football is sometimes just a game, and people have families and external circumstances that, we just see as a fan Oldham Athletic winning games. But you're quite right, Ibby, what you say.
Do we?
Well, we don't see Oldham winning games, but it's the be-all and end-all for most Oldham fans. There are external factors.
And he's made it clear. He's made it clear that Alan Hope and I'm Fondop. Thank you for mentioning him. They're going nowhere at the moment at the club. He likes to keep both of them, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a new contract offered to both of them very soon because David wants to build the squad around these two players.
I mean, I think now the thing for me is that we've got a squad. We're starting to get a squad together, and I know that people have been commenting quite a lot that we've had a lot of players on our books this year, and we have. But you can have a load of players, and as long as if they're not good enough, then it doesn't matter. But like the substitutions at the weekend made all the difference, and it changed it up. It was a different way of playing. Two up top. When you interviewed him after the game, said it wasn't about the system; it was about the personality.
I have to disagree. Two up front, change it to two up front, set up the final winning goal. From a touch, from laying it off to the big striker, laying it off to the little guy.
I think what France have scored again. I think what the thing is with that is if what he's saying is that if he's playing a 4-3-3, for example, and it's working the way he thinks it should be working, and the players are in the positions he thinks they should be in, then it should still work. You should still be able to score goals. Do you know what I mean? I think what happens, unfortunately, with the 4-3-3 is the two wider men of the front men aren't getting close enough at the right time.
And so the midfield gets overrun as well.
So I think it's down to, I think the players that we've got, and sometimes in case when you're building something, to go back to basics. Before I go, would you be against the idea of giving Hope and Fondop new contracts?
I wouldn't give Hope one. I think with Reid coming in, I'd keep Fondop. I'd keep Abraham. I'd try and sign Abraham because I think he's got more of an outlet than Hope. I think Hope is tired. I think he needs a bit of I think he just needs a reset somewhere else. If I'm honest with you,
I don't know. I don't know myself.
I don't know. I'm struggling to get behind. I don't get me wrong. He tries his hardest. His work rate is good, but I just think it's just not worked out for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out for you. Do you know what I mean?
He was doing well before he got that incident happened to him earlier on in the season, and I think for me, he's probably not going to start. But I'd say that having someone like him as now, whether he probably wants to play full time, 90 minutes.
He won't play.
No, but I mean, for me, having him as someone that could come on with the legs that he's got, and that he could wear a tight defence.
He got to the edge of the box a lot on Sunday, and he just ran out of ideas. I just think I think he struggles where it will. I think he's just struggling. I think he just needs a fresh start. As a hard.
Guys, I'm going to be going now. I'm going to let other callers come in now.
Hang on before you.
All right, mate.
Okay, just hang on before you go because you've not been feeling that well, and it is Christmas, and you are probably one of our good callers. We're going to give you a go on the Wheel of Wonder. How's about that?
Oh, that would be very fantastic.
Hit it, Dave.
1 sec.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wheel of Wonder.
Thanks, Matt. And tonight's prizes are a Boundary Park Alert System t-shirt, a jar of beef paste, a signed photo of Matt and Dave, an OAFC replica shirt, an OAFC set of coasters of 4, Mike Keegan, This Is How It Feels book, 2 complimentary tickets for the next home game. However, if you get a red card from the ref, you get nothing on the Wheel of Wonder! Just a round.
Last week it was too controversial a show last week with the stick and twist. This week we've won. The vibe is better.
Yeah.
So let's give the wheel a spin.
So you excited, Ibby?
Yeah, spin the wheel.
Hey! Oh, look at her go.
Spinning.
Oh.
It's a signed photo of Matt and Dave.
Yeah,
there you go.
David Hunter's got one of these.
Yeah, we actually did give you. He didn't look that impressed, but is that all right for you, Ibby?
Sorry about that, Ibby.
Yeah. Give him another spin. We'll give you another spin.
Can we not win another spin?
All right, go on. It's a Boundary Park Alert System t-shirt, mate. How's about that?
And a signed photo of Matt and Dave, you lucky son.
Yeah, that's brilliant, guys.
Do you want us to get it signed for you for David or anybody, a player, anything like that, mate?
Yeah, David Unsworth and the backroom staff, a few players, if they can do that for me, please.
We'll sort that out. I might not be going to the Peterborough Sports game because I might have to go to work, but I'll get it done after the Gateshead game, mate. Is that all right?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Dave. Absolutely respect that.
Hey, mate, no problem. But what you need to do now is just drop us your details and where you want to meet before or after the Gateshead game, and we'll get it all sorted out for you, mate. All right?
Or the t-shirt size is XX large, okay, buddy?
No worries, mate. Thanks very much.
Get well soon, mate.
Get well soon, pal.
Okay. Thanks a lot, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
There we go. Hi, Graham.
Hiya.
I hope you're not too disappointed that you're not going to get a spin of the Wheel of Wonder now, but that's just that's life, isn't it?
And just to Paul who's waiting, you'll be coming on next, so don't worry. So what do you want to say, Graham? Sorry we couldn't get you on last week, pal.
No, you're all right. 2 points. One was the English point and one was Oldham point. I'll go with the English point. I watched the game. The only criticism I have of Southgate is why would you have Harry Kane take a penalty against Leeds when they do it thousands of times in training? For Tottenham.
Well, that's what you get with Vanilla Southgate.
He scored the first one, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
I know, but the second one, give it to somebody else, mix up a wee bit. I mean, you could have scored a second penalty.
Yeah, I think the majority of us figured he was just going to bury it because he's just so reliable, isn't he, really? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Leeds has watched them play for donkey's years at Tottenham together. They probably trained together, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't. I've got no. I don't really want to talk about Southgate. If I'm honest with you,
when we were on the Scout Bagara war earlier on, we were talking about England, and
we'll go backwards under Southgate. But let's just leave it there. Let's talk about Oldham. What do you want to make about Oldham, mate?
You were unlucky. My thing about Oldham was I was a bit surprised Fondub came on. I mean, I like Fondub, but I would have kept Reid on with Abraham.
I thought he had a really good game, Alex Reid, leading the line up
That's
top
what
on
I'm
his own.
saying. He's flying up the side, and when he crossed the ball in for the first goal, that was the own goal. He looked sharp. I mean, I would have loved to have seen what him and Abraham would have done together.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not saying Fondub's a bad player. I like Fondub, but I don't think he fits in that team. To be honest with you, I mean, not that he didn't play well when he came on. I just think going forward, but we're going to have to use pace to get by the defence, and Fondub's not really pacey, is he?
No, I think you've got to be able to mix it up a bit, haven't you? I think that's been the problem for the last couple of years. Like we've barely had a plan A, and we've definitely not had a plan B. And I think you need different types of players to be able to bring on and change the game. And I think that, he gave them something different to think about, didn't he? He's more physical, and I think it was good. I think at the end of the day, like Dave said before, that touch for the goal was superb, wasn't it?
I mean, his touch for the goal was great. I mean, and Tulloch's goal was amazing. I mean, I watched it. I had the Sunday off, and the kids weren't annoying me, so I got to watch it, and it was brilliant. I mean, I would have brought Maynard on a wee bit earlier, but
I think the thing is, I always worry when I understand why people want to sort of bring on defensive players, but it's basically just saying to the opposition, "Go on, have a go in it. We're gonna sit back. We're gonna guard our bots, and we're gonna let you try." And they nearly scored at the end, didn't they? It was really close. It was thankfully from down the Rochdale Road, and you can't really tell how close it was. But
we do a pilot on the pressure in the last 5 minutes. So we'll get up, and the keeper going up for the corner. But like I said, I think Reid and someone coming off him would look a different prospect.
Yeah.
We've got Nuttall against Gateshead, which I can't wait because he's a unit. I saw him.
I'm going to say this right, and I'm going to sound controversial here because I don't like sacking managers and I don't like that kind of thing. But do we really? I don't know, because he turned us down. I mean, does he really have the drive? Because he's not. Do you know what I mean?
I think at the end of the day, I mean, look, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what kind of conversations we're having. His agent and him are going to hold on for a better deal all the time. The players that are hanging around at this level of football don't get life-changing contracts all the time. You know what I mean? So, probably going to hold out for something more.
Year deal as well.
It's a good deal for him. It's we don't know what the club were offering him before. And he's got to put himself, and I don't know if he's got a family, but he's got to put himself first initially. So look, he's here now. I don't really kind of like, people saying, "Oh, he's here now. Let's get behind him. He's our player." You know what I mean?
That's fair enough. I mean, he could go and score 20 goals for us. We don't know. I'm just meaning the subject is a rival because he, like I say, turned us down. But it might be the best thing since like our last great striker. Do you know what I mean, that scored 20 goals in the season?
Conor McAleny was the last striker to score 20 goals for us 1 year. I think before that, God knows who it was. But...
Yeah. Well, thanks very much, Graham. That's been brilliant. Nice to see you. How did Dumbarton get on last weekend, or did they get called off because it was -30? So
we had a bye week because we had a hang week, but we played Bonnyrigg the week before and drew 1-1, but their stadium was absolutely falling apart. So the pitch was wobbly and one of the crossbars was slanted, so it was kind of like
lovely.
Yeah, it was kind of like whoever was going to keep the ball from wobbling too much on the ground was going to win, but it just ended up a draw.
Well, thanks for calling in, mate.
One for the purists, Graham, eh? One for the purists.
Cheers, pal.
No worries. Thanks,
all the best, mate.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
We've got Paul, who was patiently waiting. Paul, are you there, mate?
I'm here.
There he is.
How do?
You all right, Paul?
I'm all right, yeah.
Yeah, good. Thanks for waiting. Thanks for being
no worries. Right. I thought the game weekend on Sunday was the second best performance of the season so far for me after the Wrexham game.
Right.
And I see a marked improvement. They looked hungry. We were dynamic. We were straight. We were going at them. And I've not seen that this season other than the Wrexham game. I thought Reid was a breath of fresh air up front. And I'm quite excited about him. He ran the line fantastic. I was surprised they took him off, to be honest.
Yeah, he don't like giving him full 90 minutes, but I think he probably just had other options on the pitch. You see the game drifting.
To be fair, Fondu and Abraham did quite well when they came on. Linked up quite well, but he's got options up front now, I think.
Yeah,
it's about bloody time, isn't it? It's nice compared to last season where we had Fondop, Keeler Dunn, and Hope, and that was it.
I'm one of these like you. When Unsworth got the gig, I was against it. I didn't like it, but he's grown on me, Unsworth, and they've spent money now and they're backing him, and he's their man. And we've just got to hold on a bit longer now and give him a few more months to try and gel these players together.
I mean, I think again, there's going to be more signings. There's going to be more players going. It's already starting to look like a different team, and it is starting to get there. I think we do desperately still need results. Like we do desperately need a win against Gateshead, because looking at the table, like we were lucky, Maidstone and Gateshead both lost. They were the only two teams they played the other night, the only two games that were on. And a win against Gateshead will move us out, and we'll still have, I think, 3 games in hand on Maidstone. So it's like all of a sudden, a few wins and confidence is open.
Get on a run. We just need to get 4 or 5.
I've been saying this to people. I'm quite confident the second half of the season will start picking up. I think you're right. I agree with you. They're getting nearly everything right off the pitch, in the background. Good signs, everything. I'll tell you one thing that has got worse though: the pies. Shocking. I hate them pies.
The larger ones are nicer. The larger
I bit into a curry one the other day, and it literally had nothing in it. It was all pastry. I took it straight back, but to be fair, they swapped it out for me, so I'm quite happy.
Well, there you go. You can't fault that.
Well, I mean, you know, when we get into this time of year, mate, and it's so bloody cold, like, because you brought us a pie and a cup of tea at half time, and it was magic. Because it's very important, isn't it? You know, you've got to get that heat into your body.
I don't sit in the posh seats like you, unfortunately.
Believe me, we don't
sit back at Rochelle Road, mate. Not posh road where we sit.
That's where I am. I'm surprised I haven't seen you. But yeah, I'm just a quickie. I just wanted to come on an hour there, and I heard them singing, getting sacked in the morning, and I was just like, "What are you doing, guys?"
It didn't take off, though.
No, it didn't. But it were out of order because the game we were looking like the team that would probably go on and win that game, and that's actually what happened. Yeah. And I thought it was, you know, if we were losing 3-2 or 2-1, I'd say maybe, but we were 1-0 up, then we were 2-1 up. Do you know what I mean? And
I didn't have a feeling we were going to get beat. I just towards the end, that last minute equaliser was just concerning me, but I didn't think for 1 minute that we were going to get beat. I thought when they scored that first goal, that was a really good move, and I thought he needs to change it. And to be fair, he changed it pretty much straight away. And then we got the second goal, which was a screamer by Solid, but he had changed the system by that point. So I think Unsworth is learning as well as he's on the job. You know, he's a qualified coach, and I don't want to sound patronising, but he has.
That doesn't mean nothing, by the way.
He's just getting to understand the National League and how quickly he can change, and how quickly a team can change the focus, change the system, change it quite quickly to dominate our team. And I think he understands our team's frailties, that when we concede that goal, if he doesn't change it, we're not going to hang on to stop another one, because we don't have that experience or belief. But hopefully that win will gee us on now for the next game. We'll get another win, and then it can move on to Gateshead. And we've got to stick by him.
I mean, all the people, you know, we've all got opinions, and that's what football's all about, having opinions. And sometimes two people can be sat next to each other and see a completely different game. But I think for any of us as fans, and I know we all know the club, and we know the game to some degree, but to suggest that we know the game better than someone like him, and you know, I'm sure we don't. He's spent his whole life in football, on the training ground.
One thing, I agree with that, but. But one thing as well, you can't tell people that they can't call for his head. They're paying customers, and they've got just as much right to call for it as we've got to not call for it.
Yeah,
and it's all
I agree with that. I'm not going to tell people what to say, what not to say. What I would say though is to think about what you're saying, the implications of what. That's all I'm saying, is to try and get people to think. You know, and really, we need a bit of patience around this football club. We need a bit of support, like come together when times are difficult, rather than sort of turning on people at the first instance of panic. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. Really.
Why asking me what I'm playing? You don't understand.
Tell you, you're world famous, and you're an award-winning phone. So that's
there you go. Well, this is it, and this is why I made my son come on Sunday, because he didn't want to come because it was cold, but I was confident he did. So I made him come, and he sat there freezing cold all day. But we got the result. That's all that matters.
That's it.
Well, that's it.
Guys.
Your
I've
feet,
gotta
your
go.
feet, your feet
Right.
thaw out a bit quicker when you win.
Cheers,
don't they?
Paul.
So-
Thanks very much.
All right, mate.
Come on
Take
again
care.
soon, mate.
Right,
Take
Thanks,
care.
good show.
Bye.
thanks for calling, mate.
We've got Mark waiting in the wings in the backstage area
Mark
with all
Mill.
the strippers and Crystal.
Mark Mills and
And
Mills.
Jack, if you are trying to get on, you need to connect your device. The link's pretty self-explanatory, so if you're struggling, then I'm just sorry. Hiya, Mark.
Hello.
Sorry.
You all right?
Yeah, you.
Did you go on Sunday?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I went on Sunday.
You sound thrilled with the win.
Well, you know, we're still in the bottom four at the end of the day, aren't we? So
3 games in hand. We're turning a corner ever slowly but surely. What did you think of the performance?
yeah, it was probably the best performance of the season, to be honest. I'd say. Couple of players that I said I'd thought weren't really up to it in the last few weeks. Thought played really well. Thought Kitchen was excellent. And I've not really been a big fan of what I've seen of him so far. I thought Rooney played decent. I thought Peck had a really good game. Yeah, it was good. It was good to watch. It was nice.
What do you think of Magnus Norman and that save he pulled off in the first half?
Yeah, couple of good saves really. He made 2, didn't he? I think really good saves. One low down snapshot save, and then another one like sort of up. He's made a few mistakes, Magnus, hasn't he? But I think we could be doing worse.
I think that's just with Hogan and Clark not being there, and he had no confidence in who was in front of him. To be fair, you had a makeshift centre half in there for Shearing, and then you had Okabuyi, who was a young lad. Carragher settled it down a little bit, but he's not really had that voice commanding the defence. I think
I'd probably agree with that. The only thing I'm worried about is I think that Clark and Hogan together, there's a pace issue there. And I'm always a fan of having a big athletic centre half. So if you're going to play Hogan and Clark, for me, you've got to play someone like a Kagbu there as well. I think he's gone back to Stoke though, hasn't he now?
I believe so, yeah.
There's no, I mean, the thing is with Clark is there's no guarantee that he's going to be staying after January anyway, is there? Because he's obviously on loan from Warsaw, so he might be going back. So I wouldn't be surprised if a centre-half was on the shopping list.
I think he'll stay, me. I think the rumour is that he's going to stay.
Maybe, but I think we still need another... I mean, I don't know what the story is with Will Sutton. I don't know when he's coming back.
He's back now. He's come back. He's had a foot injury, hasn't he? And
yeah, he did all right at the end of last season.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean that we if you've got a decent young player like that, they benefit from playing against an older, experienced player, don't they? So, yeah, I mean, I think
we're still crying out for a ball winner in midfield for me.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of players we're interested in, apparently rumoured in, that Willoughby from Chester, and I think we've got enough forwards for now. I don't think we should get rid of Fondop either, really. I love Mikey Fondop. He's brilliant. I mean, he's not obviously, but I love his personality, and he scored goals at the end of the day. He makes himself a nuisance.
It looks to me like he's one of these players where if he's happy where he is, he'll be dangerous for you because he'll put himself about and he'll work hard and I like you say, his personality and his kind of like his passion when he looks to me like he's starting to enjoy it and here at Lactix and I want those kind of players in there. I think like what you said about ball winners, for me, I would like to see sort of 2 really solid, good ball winning midfielders that can give the ball to Rooney to play in front of them. And then have that sort of front forward diamond, if you like, when we're going forward.
I think that's how he tried to play against Torquay, didn't he? He had Peck and Chapman as sort of as you centre mids, and then Rooney just in front of them. But I like that Chapman, and I like that young Peck as well. But I don't think they're holding midfielders. If he's going to play that system, I don't think they're the right players for the job. But at the end of the day, he's trying to get the players in that he wants. So
the thing is, when you're playing someone like Kitchen down that left-hand side, he's going to be bombing on. So you're going to need to have a holding midfielder who's going to cover and drop into that position, aren't you? And if he's thinking about getting somebody else down that right-hand side, then again, you're going to need somebody else. So it's kind of like they're your compensation for the fact that you like to get your fullbacks high up the pitch. And I'd love to see that. I'd love to see us getting people on the overlap and playing high up the wide and then just keeping it a bit more solid with those 2.
If it's for me, we need to get just a bit more what's the word for it? Just a bit more rigid off the ball, and everybody have the more defined roles. Because sometimes, I mean, you saw Torquay did it. It wasn't like Torquay suddenly turned into Brazil when they played 3 or 4 passes around us. It's because we left 2 holes in midfield. So if we can just get really rigid and disciplined off the ball, that will really help us. It will stop daft last minute goals at Boreham Wood, and if everyone's just a bit more conscious of what the roles are on the pitch off the ball, that's the biggest thing we can improve on for me. Because going forward, we look brilliant sometimes, even when we've lost. Like Solihull, for example, I went to Solihull, and for the last 20 minutes of the first half at Solihull, we had them. We were on top. And then they just came out in the second half and scored those 2 quick-fire goals. And it all happened because we were out of shape. And if their manager would have just said, right, they've got 2 slow centre-backs, run down the middle, right, don't let them have a second to breathe and get at them because they think they've got this game won. And that's what they did. They scored 2 identical goals against us. And then the game over then. But it was because we just left a hole in midfield. And if everyone was just a bit more rigid, and we had some. I think somebody with just a bit more positional, because that Chapman's supposed to be a winger, isn't he? Yeah. And Peck's more of like a number 8, getting forward and back. So if he's going to play this system, we need someone a bit. We need Fane back. That's who we need.
Just mop it up in the middle.
I think he's bringing players in and it's changing. And I'm pretty sure that it's been mentioned tonight already. As the second half of the season goes on, we'll get stronger and stronger. I'm hoping now we've bottomed out, and some of those results that we've had this season, 3-0 at Bromley, 3-0 at Woking, and some of those performances are it. It doesn't get any worse than that. You know what I mean?
Well, those teams you mentioned there, I'd like to see this team, because the thing is as well, he's kept the same core sort of 16 players for the last 3 games. The same, sort of in a similar lineup. I'd like to see him keep doing that, really, and just work with the players that we've got for now. And can't wait to get some of these teams back to Boundary Park, your Woking and your Bromley, who've already beaten us away. These, the beatable teams. If we're on it on our day, we've shown that. Like Paul said, we played well against Wrexham. We played well against Torquay. Keep the same set of players and get them a bit more drilled. And I'd just say, if we're going to add somebody, we need a ball winner. I mean, I know this Willoughby's rumoured, but I wouldn't spend the money on him. I'd get a decent number 4 in, a decent midfielder.
What do you think about Latics spending reportedly 6 figures on Nuttall? What do you think of that? Do you think that's a positive?
I'm a bit on the fence with that. I mean, it's nice that we're signing. What's nice is that we're identifying players that the manager wants to buy because he said he wanted him here from the start. The owners backed him, and we've clearly got a spare bit of money to spend in the transfer market, right? That's nice to see. Would I have spent 6 figures on Joe Nuttall? Probably not. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't work full time in football, and I haven't seen him in training, and so I don't. My opinion is useless on that matter, but. It's nice to see us spending some money.
We need to spend money because we're in the bottom 4 of the National League, and we've got to get out of it, haven't we? We've got to get out 100%. Of it. So we need to improve the squad. Spending any money we're spending now is worth it. And this was the problem with Abdallah. When we were in and around the trapdoor and with the EFL loan and all that. If he just put his money in his pocket, he kept his money. I'd
just like to see us be a bit ambitious. I mean, there's a lad at Macclesfield. I can't remember what he's called now. He's a young midfielder. He's about 21, 22, and he scored something like 12 goals in 8 games for Macclesfield. But we played for him last season as well. Did really well. I can't remember what he's called now. Someone might know in the comments.
From the North West counties, mate. It's a massive.
Yeah, I know, but he's I'm just like. I know what you're saying, but just players like this. If we've got some good scouts out there, like apparently we have now, hopefully we'll be picking up on these players before, because he came through Liverpool's academy. He's doing my head in that. I can't remember his name. someone will know.
Listen, all you have to remember about Macclesfield is that Urko Vera scored a penalty on his debut.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And that Robbie Savage is a prick.
Listen, we've got one more caller and Worthy, so we'll go to him before we wrap it up. Like, thanks for getting.
All right, mate. I'll see you off. I'll see you later, gents.
See you soon. Oh, Worthy's disappeared.
Worthy, where have you gone?
All right, cheers. We'll see you, Mark.
Right.
Worthy was lined up, and then he just went when he heard his name, or her name, or whoever Worthy is.
Yeah, Worthy.
But,
we're not worthy.
No, indeed.
Obviously not.
That's it really. With the World Cup semi-final between Morocco and France is over, and France won 2-0. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's a spare 5 minutes there.
Yeah,
so,
5 minutes definitely.
The Laddix football phone in.
Yeah, so thanks for all callers, all contributors, all messages, comments.
Nice to have a slightly more chilled one this evening.
Yeah,
talking about on the field performances. We need to just hopefully next Wednesday be glowing in the warmth of another win. Because it feels good, doesn't it?
It does. And I'd just like to beat Gateshead because I hate Biker Grove. So on that bombshell.
Bye, no.
The Latics Football Phone-In is hosted and produced weekly by Matt Dean and Dave Bradley for Q Pod Productions. Please follow and interact with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok at OAFC Podcast, and subscribe to youtube.com/The Boundary Park Alert System. The Latics Football Phone-In is released as a podcast every Friday morning at 7 a.m. and follows the Boundary Park Alert System podcast every Monday morning also at 7 a.m. A huge thank you goes to those people who already subscribe and support the podcast. We appreciate you all, and if you'd like to help us out, please visit oafcpodcast.co.uk and click support or find the link in the podcast show notes. It's only $2.99 per month, and we'll draw a subscriber at random every month to win an Oldham Athletic shirt of your choice. A special mention must go to Lee's Field Development for providing the prizes on the Wheel of Wonder. If you're interested in sponsoring the show, please get in touch. The title music for the show is by Manchester DJ and producer Starion, and for more information visit bandcamp.com/Red Laser Records. Thanks for watching or listening, and we'll see you next time.